You're watching CW6 News at 4.
It's by far the biggest story in the city of San Diego. After 55 years, the Chargers moving back to Los Angeles. We've got complete team coverage of the fallout for fans who are wrestling with those emotions today.
And what about the people who rely on the Chargers for employment? How the team's absence will affect hundreds of jobs here in San Diego.
And San Diego without the Chargers will definitely have economic repercussions. Economists weigh in on how the move will impact our region financially. Good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Nada Iranpour.
And I'm Jason Austell. It is official. The Chargers are on their way to Los Angeles. The team made the announcement about the move this morning.
Dean Spanos released a letter this morning putting the blame on San Diego officials. So we're going to get right to it. We have Lee Hacksaw Hamilton joining us here now to talk about this news, response from fans.
Anger, sadness, resolve. Those were the emotions at the press conference today with the mayor and all the city politicians.
Dean Spanos made a bad decision, and he will regret it.
The ownership, unfortunately, has been a problem during this whole process.
The sun has crested, and it appears our long civic nightmare is over.
I hate this day. You know, it's just, for me and my family, it's a big thing.
3 hours after the Chargers issued a 7-sentence statement and the owner left the team facility to head to Los Angeles, San Diego leaders stood strong in condemnation of Dean Spanos. Mayor Kevin Faulconer.
In sports, teams win and individuals lose. The Chargers were ultimately never willing to work with us as a team so we could achieve shared success.
The mayor's anger spilled over after 13 months of talks that turned into insults and ended with the city leaders finding out via email that a 3-minute phone call the team was leaving.
Confident of at least two things. We're going to be fine, and the Chargers made the wrong choice. San Diego is a great city, and I'm certain that they will come to regret this decision.
County Supervisor Ron Roberts, who helped put together a $350 million local financing package, had to bite his tongue.
I can't sugarcoat this. This is a very disappointing day for us. It's a day in infamy in sports history here in San Diego.
The Chargers turned down 3 different proposals, then demanded the city add another $200 million to the offer. Council member Scott Sherman showed disdain for the team's leadership.
Mark Fabiani and Dean Spanos have tirelessly worked behind the scenes to subvert every single action that this city council and this mayor have done to try and put something on the table to keep the Chargers here.
Adam Day, who led the entourage of volunteers working on behalf of CSAG, said doing business across the table was impossible, saying it was 2 years of lies.
The Chargers' decision to walk away from those fans and the team's legacy and countless memories is a new low. And it brings to mind the old expression, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it.
Spanos called NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell Wednesday, hours after Steelers owner Art Rooney went public, and said the NFL would not add more G4 money than the $300 million allotted to San Diego. Reaction, the UT called the Spanos family weasels. The LA Times said it was not welcome on a noble mission of greed, and legendary quarterback Dan Fouts said it was unfathomable.
Wow.
Yeah, it's hard to believe for us. You were a longtime voice of the Chargers. We've all been around this team for so long, but it's when you hear the city council and the mayor and people who have been behind the scenes for so long talking about this, you really have to side with those who say Dean Spanos is a coward. Use the word coward, weasel, terrible owner, a laughing stock amongst NFL owners, and the way he handled leaving this city, not a press conference, not standing up and talking to us, but a letter. Even Nick Hardwick, longtime Chargers center, his tweet was great this morning.
I think it's horrific the way he conducted his business. Dean Spanos was born with a silver spoon.
Yes.
If he had not been given this job, he'd be on a street corner with a tin cup in his hand. What he's done to this community after 55 years of loyal support through some good times and a lot of bad times is an absolute disgrace. Art Modell was vilified in Cleveland when he moved the Browns. Robert Irsay moved in the middle of the night, taking the Colts out of Baltimore. Dean Spanos will not be welcome back in this community. He and his family should be on the Mayflower moving van when they move the equipment, period, exclamation point, end of argument. It is an utter shame.
But now in LA, he's telling LA media that he has tried for 15 years to get a new stadium, to get the city on his side, and the city hasn't cooperated with him.
It's an outright lie.
Yep.
2001, 9/11, collapse of the global economy, California near bankruptcy, San Diego near bankruptcy with the pension situation, and then real estate collapse. How do you build anything from 2001 to 2013? And by the way, all the proposals he made, it was a piece of paper with a shiny picture on it, and he went to the city and said, build it, pay for it,
Right.
and then give it to me. Up until the arrival of Mayor Kevin Faulconer, we never had quality leadership. We had quality leadership the last 3 to 4 years, and he refused to come to the table. And it's a disgrace that the NFL owners bought everything he said as gospel truth when it was a flat-out lie. He's a disgrace as a person. Shame on the Spanos family for what he did.
And let's not forget the redoing of the stadium in 96, 97.
Oh,
the
your
ticket
ticket
guarantee.
guarantee.
I mean, come on. You give him and he wants more and more. He's never really earned anything in his life. And in this case, he didn't earn a new stadium. He's being given the opportunity to go in the Taj Mahal, as I like to call it, that Kroenke's going to build in LA.
It'll be fascinating to see what happens over the next 2 years because they're playing next to a toxic waste dump in Carson. And he is the 5th team in the Los Angeles market. USC owns the LA market. The Rams emotionally hold the NFL fans. By the way, that's Raider fan out in the parking lot.
Yep.
And you got UCLA, which still is a player in the market. And now here come the Chargers. They like to sell
LA
themselves as the
traffic enough already.
first family of football
Yeah.
with a last place franchise.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Lee, we have so much to get to on this topic. Thank you very much.
4:55, we have a
see you again.
historical perspective.
In just about 50 minutes from right now, be here. We've got Lee's historical perspective on the Chargers. Thank you, Lee. Appreciate it. And the Fight for LA, that's the new rallying cry. Fight for LA. This was on their website, wasn't it? I mean, within an hour of the meeting. That is the rallying cry that Dean Spanos' team, the Chargers, are shouting as they move up north. It's how Dean Spanos signed off his letter announcing the move, if you can imagine that. But it's also the name of the website where fans can make deposits on season tickets for next season. The Chargers are going to play in the 30,000-seat StubHub Center. It's essentially a soccer stadium until a new shared home with the Rams is completed in Inglewood. It's a flashy website that was registered last month. It kind of signals that the team had already made up their mind late last year. And the shock of the Chargers announcement is sinking in with the people who work at Qualcomm for home games.
Many of them behind the scenes, they say they do it every fall because they love the team. Gary Buzel joining us live at Chargers headquarters in Murphy Canyon. So fans have been showing up, voicing their anger since last night, Gary.
That's right, Jason. And lots of frustration happening here because we all know the news. Coming this fall, San Diego sports fans are going to have a really quiet fall season. Take a look here behind me. You can see the pile of San Diego Charger merchandise just being thrown into this pile. You have jerseys, hats, Charger trash cans, everything just totally destroyed and thrown into this pile. People very frustrated about the Chargers leaving San Diego. But there's one more thing that's considered to be a piece of collateral damage by the Chargers leaving San Diego. And that's all the people that work at the Q when the games are happening here at home. Now they'll be out of a job.
It sucks. It really does.
Ron Sherrick found out the news the same way many of us did early Thursday, seeing the name Los Angeles Chargers online.
Not going to feel right to say LA Chargers when they've been the San Diego Chargers forever.
And their new logo on social media.
And you actually see it. It's the visual impact was disturbing. You've seen that Chargers logo for so long, and you just really associate that with San Diego.
For Ron and the nearly 1,000 workers who work at Qualcomm Stadium for the 10 home games, it was a punch in the gut.
That's gone now, and it's I think, until probably that first game happens and maybe you see them playing at a different stadium, it's really going to be tough later on.
Concessionaires, cleaning crews, field maintenance, merchandise salespeople, and this guy who plays the music over the public address system.
Coordinate all the music that you hear in the stadium on game days. So when the Charger girls are dancing, that's all coming from me. Any sound effects, touchdown music.
They all work part-time or as private contractors. Some will be laid off, and some others could go with the team to LA. We understand the full-time staff in Murphy Canyon, who many will stay on board during the relocation. All of them caught in the middle of a battle between the city and the boss.
I understand the frustration about not getting a stadium done, and but at the same time, I think both sides probably could have worked harder to negotiate to keep him here.
That frustration brought fans here to dump off merchandise and burn Charger gear.
fans are sick and tired of it. They don't care anymore.
Leaving many like Ron and others to hope for another NFL or Major League team to call San Diego home.
Really don't think that probably in our lifetimes we're going to get another NFL team.
Now back out here live, you can see more merchandise being deposited in this large pile that seems to be growing by minute here. Now it's unclear how much longer the Chargers will remain at this administration facility in Murphy Canyon. Now we do know they have leased office space and a practice field in Costa Mesa up in Orange County. We understand that Mr. Spanos did flee San Diego today on his private jet. And back out here to me, Jason and Ned, I could just tell you, a lot of the people I spoke with here, they plan on staying here into the night just to make their message heard. Reporting live from Chargers Park in Murphy Canyon, I'm Gary Buzell, CW6 News. Jason, Netta.
Wow, that big pile of Chargers gear as it's raining on top of it really says a lot about what San Diego's going through today. And meanwhile, in the wake of the Chargers news, Mayor Kevin Faulconer, he has a big day, a big speech to make today.
Yeah, he's delivering the State of the City address tonight at the Balboa Theater.
Phil Farrar is there to cover that event and joins us now with a preview. Phil.
Good afternoon, Netta. It'll be interesting to see if he takes another jab at the Chargers this evening. That speech beginning at 6 o'clock. And of course, the mayor will touch on his San Diego One plan. And what that includes is a climate action plan. Also, he'll talk about housing. He'll talk about infrastructure as well, how to improve these streets. We have so many potholes right now. And of course, the main thing, one of the biggest things he'll talk about is the rising rate of homelessness here in the city of San Diego. We'll have the complete details at 10 o'clock on CW6 News at 10. For now, live from downtown, Phil Farrar, CW6 News.
And as Phil just mentioned, one of the things we're expecting Mayor Faulconer to discuss tonight, other than the Chargers, is homelessness here in San Diego.
Over the last 2 years, homeless population has continued to grow in San Diego. In downtown alone, it's up more than 70%. Homeless advocate Mike McConnell says addressing the problem means going beyond just building more shelters.
They're not comfortable going into these massive shelters that have 200 people in them where there's a lot of illness and different things going on. But they do need assistance and they do need permanent housing.
2 years ago, Mayor Faulconer pushed to replace the city's temporary homeless shelters with a permanent facility. McConnell, though, says while creating affordable housing is happening in San Diego, it's just happening too slow. Again, we're going to have details on this issue and a lot more on that State of the City address coming up tonight at 10 o'clock. To other news now, San Diego police seeking the public's help to find a missing 15-year-old girl. Her family's concerned she may be a danger to herself. Natalia Benito was last seen today about 2:30 this morning at her home in the Carmel Country Highlands area. Benito described as a white female, 5'8", 150 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing black sweatpants but may have changed her clothes. And coming up, it's been a rough day for Chargers fans. As we know, we'll have more reactions on the move and bring in an expert with advice on how to cope with this disappointing news.
Plus, Northern and Central California is still getting slammed with rain and flooding, how communities are dealing with the harsh conditions.
Speaking of rain, looking at our radar, noticing the action actually increasing. We'll come up, we will track these showers to your doorstep. We'll be right back.